Bitcoin and cryptocurrency prices have seen significant gains as the entire cryptoeconomy is up more than 40% since mid-December. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, has also seen an uptick and shares have climbed 9% this week. The news follows the asset manager's recent registration as a reporting company with the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) and the private placement of its shares. In the last 3 weeks, GBTC's price has jumped more than 44%, mimicking BX's price patterns despite having a significant premium. Also read, IOTA, yes, calm, ADA for Bitcoin contenders with zero use cases and barely any infrastructure demand for Grayscale Pros, the oldest running regulated Bitcoin investment trust, GBTC, managed by Grayscale, was established in 2013 and is sold to accredited investors. GBTC is considered the first publicly quoted security that derives its value from BX, and the value of GBTC shares have been rising alongside BX this week. GBTC shares touched a low of $7.98 on January 2 and the price has jumped 44% to $11.52 on February 5. Most of the time, GBTC is trading at a premium which is 20–30% higher than spot market prices. GBTC, the Bitcoin Investment Trust, is Grayscale's first crypto fund, but the company now manages 10 crypto funds in 2020. The trust's shares really started popping on Monday, January 7. At the time, market analysts cited geopolitical turmoil was priming safe haven assets like precious metals and cryptocurrencies. Moreover, speculators believe Bitcoin's current rising prices are reflective of the upcoming BX halving that is going to slash block rewards in May 2020. Financial columnist Joe Tenebruso noted when GBTC's shares spiked in January that Grayscale's investment trust is an imperfect proxy for the price of Bitcoin. The trust is currently trading at a nearly 30% premium to the value of the underlying cryptocurrency that it holds, said Tenebruso at the time. However, unless a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund is approved by regulators, investors who do not wish to deal with the security and other operational challenges that come with holding actual Bitcoin will probably continue to use Grayscale Bitcoin Trust as a means to gain exposure to the cryptocurrency. GBTC shares touched a low of $7.98 on January 2, 2020, and the price jumped 44% to $11.52 on February 5, 2020, and then $11.65 1 hour later. The GBTC premium follows Grayscale's resumption of the private placement of its shares. Private placement buyers wait for 1 year and they can choose to sell their GBTC shares after the holding period. Private placement is offered once in a while throughout the year to accredited investors. GBTC's private placement concept gives investors access to unique liquidity opportunities. The reason for the wait time is because the shares are not registered under the Securities Act and investors are subject to the 1-year holding period. The trust's investment objective is for the value of its shares, based on Bitcoin per share, to reflect the price performance of Bitcoin, less fees and expenses, Grayscale disclosed. The fund management company added, the trust is solely and passively invested in Bitcoin and was created for investors seeking exposure to Bitcoin through a traditional investment vehicle. As of January 10, 2020, the trust has more than $2.06 billion in assets under management, and each share of the trust represents 0.000968884 Bitcoin. After opening up private placement options, Grayscale obtained the status of a reporting company from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) at the end of January 2020. The fund management company registered with the SEC in November and the firm manages 10 different cryptocurrency investment products. As many institutions restrict investments in instruments that are not registered with the SEC, a broader set of investors may now begin to consider the trust accordingly, Grayscale explained on January 21. GBTC typically mimics BX price movements on spot exchanges. However, Capch often has a higher premium than the global spot market price for BX. The managing director at Grayscale, Michael Sonnenschein, said the trust as sponsor sought out the reporting company designation and looks forward to working with the U.S. regulator. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust becoming an SEC reporting company marks an incredible milestone for the trust, Grayscale as an asset manager, and the digital currency industry as a whole, Sonnenschein stressed. The announcement should signal to investors that our regulators are willing to engage with our products and know. You can read full post on CryptoFans News, link available in text below.